Hey guys, welcome back to Ollie Talks Airsoft. Today I wanted to show you guys something a little bit special, and it's not a gun this time, it's an accessory, and it's another one of the real steel optics that I've managed to pick up. So it's a pretty recognisable silhouette here. You can probably tell that this is in fact an ACOG made by Trijicon. So I do already have a couple of other Trijicon products. I've got the TR24 short dot 1 to 4 times, which is an excellent optic, and I also have a mini ACOG as well, an N-Law, which is a 2 or 2.5 times, but it's tiny. One of the things I really like about Trijicon is the fact that they really back their products up. I tend not to treat my guns and my equipment particularly well. Every time I break something, it's a new opportunity to upgrade or get something better, or figure out what's broken and make it steel, make it unbreakable, and then the next thing that breaks is another opportunity to upgrade. Well, when it comes to optics, it's pretty similar for me anyway. I really see the value in having some real steel optics on your airsoft gun, and predominantly with Trijicon, the glass that they use is just excellent. Like, it's really good. But a few of the different models offer a few different features, and this particular model is the TA11. So it's a 3.5 times fixed magnification. I believe the objective lens is like a 32mm or something, maybe 35mm, don't quote me on that. So what I particularly like about this optic, as opposed to the TA4s and the 4 times, which are obviously in a slightly more compact package, this is quite large, as you can see, but what this gives you is a much more generous eye box. So as opposed to a regular ACOG, where your eye relief on it is about 1.5 inches, so be about here. With this one, I can hold it out, and my correct eye relief is probably, it's about here. So that's about 2.5 inches, which is what Trijicon advertise it to be. With a regular ACOG, you'd be very much nose to charging handle, and a lot of people end up getting scope bite from an ACOG the first time they use one on a real gun, because they have to have nose to charging handle in order to operate it, in order to be able to see through it correctly. However, it also does employ the Binder naming concept. So this is something that a lot of Trijicon products have, and it means that you can look through a magnified optic with both eyes open, and you can actually overlay images. So people that are quite experienced with an ACOG scope will be able to do CQB shooting, where you focus on your target. Maybe for me it would be with my left eye, and I'm only going to try and pick up the reticle with my right eye. So it does take a little bit of getting used to, but it does actually work quite well. And even when you're changing the focus of your eyes, so to look through the scope at 3.5 times, it does actually become quite natural to just kind of flick between the two. So you don't lose out on any situational awareness, and you also don't have any weird shadowing or anything like that in the scope. So a lot of that is because of the quality of the glass that they use, but I believe it's actually a prism system that they use in here, which is why there is no way for you to separately adjust the diopter on this. So it's designed that anyone can pick it up, and you can focus perfectly through the optic without actually having any fine adjustment for your eye, because actually your eye will do that. So it's a really clever concept, and the way that it's actually been implemented in these Trijicon scopes is like really excellent. So also, I mean, talking about Trijicons, they're most famous because they have this this strip running down the top, which is the fibre optic light collector. Now, I bought this second hand, so I've it's been around for a while. This one also has tritium in it, so it does light up at night, However, I believe we're well past the half-life now, so it is quite dim, but you can still see the reticle. The reticle that's on this particular model is a red donut, and it also has a BDC underneath for bullet drop compensation. You don't need that on an airsoft gun. This is currently mounted on a gas blowback Type89 rifle. I think it looks pretty cool on here. I think it looks very good. I haven't had a chance to actually take this out yet into a game and look through the optic while I'm actually firing BBs, but having used a few other Trijicon scopes, the glass is that clear that it allows you to track the BB very easily through the scope. So I'm looking forward to taking it out, but I wanted to give you guys a quick overview of the scope, you know, of the absolute bomb-proof ACOG system. But also, yeah, it's this is where it's currently living, on the top of my Type89 rifle. Very much looking forward to taking it out. Maybe in about a week's time, I should be able to take it out and get some shots through it, and maybe I'll be able to put some of that on camera as well, or at least I'll try to. But yeah, anyway, that's been just my little look at the Trijicon TA11. We'll skip to some footage of like looking through the actual scope at some things outside, so you can see what the glass clarity is like. And I've actually got another scope, a Vision King, which is a very common airsoft optic. Loads and loads of people have Vision King. Well, obviously I've got Vision King as well. So what I'm going to do is set that to a 3.5 times. Make sure all the lenses are as clean as I can get them, and let's just compare and see what that kind of image quality is like that you get with the Vision King compared to a genuine Trijicon ACOG. So yeah, I haven't filmed it yet, so like I'm interested to see as well.
Okay, it's on its side, but this one is the Vision King, set to 3.5 times. I'm focused on a wall that's probably about 60 meters away, and yeah, you can see it's not super high quality. And now we'll go over to the ACOG, and hopefully this will come across in the video, and you'll be able to see actually like the eye box is more generous here, and if I pull it back, you know, you can still, it's still pretty easy for me to get around and see that red dot in the middle and the compensation on it. So that's really good. We'll go back here, and that shadowing is a lot quicker to come in. So that's probably the best image that I can get from it. Just go back once more. Even filming through the camera, I think it's easier to like, that I'm struggling to pick up. Whereas just when you move over and it's like bang, okay, there it is. Like, it's more generous. It just allows for a, yeah, just a bit nicer, I think. And you pick it up that much quicker. You see, you move a tiny bit and it just blacks out on here. And it's almost so quick that you can't see where it's blacking out from. It just sort of disappears. Whereas you just don't get it as much here. I mean, it's still a scope, obviously, you're still going to get it, but...
So, all in all, I think it was pretty clear there. Literally, it was pretty clear. You could see so much more detail looking through the actual Trijicon versus looking through the Vision King. And in the past, obviously my propensity to use gas blowback rifles means that I'm always trying to track a BB through a scope while dealing with the recoil. So basically, you've got your target in sight, you pull the trigger, everything starts vibrating. You're then trying to pick that BB up when it's already sort of like 20, 30 meters away, you know. So that's where hopefully this is going to like change the game a little bit. I'm not sure whether I'll be taking this out into games yet. I'll probably try and pick myself up a kill flash for the front. I know that the glass on these is going to be very strong. Like these have been in actual explosions. You know, these are war optics, and there's probably a fair argument to say that what is it doing on an airsoft gun? And I think that's probably a fair argument. I wouldn't put up any defence other than to say I really like it. I think it's really nice and really cool, and I like being able to put real steel optics on my airsoft guns, take them out and look through them and kind of do what they were intended for, you know, actually shoot at other people, you know, but nobody dies. Like, that's the best part of it. So yeah, being able to use some of these like actual cool real optics and put them on, you know, the best functional sort of like gas blowback rifles and things that I have, for me that's something really cool about that. And yeah, like real steel optics just kind of top it off a little bit for me. So yeah, if you've liked this video, feel free to drop a like down below. If it's your first time on the channel as well, you know, there's a few more real steel optics which I'm going to be going over in other videos, and it's going to be sort of, I've got a few more red dots and things like that. I don't think I've talked about this. I've got Vortex on my KCO2 on my little takedown rifle here, so I've got quite a few optics to talk about. And when it comes to real steel optics and glass clarity and things like that, I do have a few opinions about it, and I have been quite lucky to have looked through and used and handled a number of real steel optics. And certainly the first time I ever looked through a Trijicon TA11 was about 3 or 4 years ago, and it blew me away. I looked through a 4x ACOG probably about 8 or 9 years ago, and again I was absolutely blown away by the glass clarity, but that eye relief just absolutely killed me. And so you know, it's not something that I could ever get on with, but I was so grateful to the person on the field that had it and that was using it, this real ACOG on their airsoft gun, that I got to look through it and was like, wow, this is really cool. Like, it's just super cool. So yeah, years later, a very close friend of mine picked up a TA11 that had a little bit of damage on it, and I looked through that and was like, oh, this is different. This is not the same as the fixed 4x. You're losing half a times in magnification, but what you're getting with the extra eye relief, the more generous eye box and stuff like that, yeah, it blew me away. And so ever since looking through his one, I've, you know, pretty much on the weekly, or, you know, almost on the daily, like scouring all the second-hand markets, like trying to find one. And in like 3 or 4 years, this is the first one that's come up second-hand at sort of a very reasonable price. And so I thought, you know what, they're so rare, and why not do it? And so far, I'm not disappointed at all. I think it's blown me away a little bit. It's yeah, the glass clarity on it is exceptional, and hopefully that's gonna really help me to like track BBs through it, and dealing with the recoil and things like that. So yeah, I mean, I look forward to bringing you updates on this, and hopefully get you some actual shooting from behind the lens as well. So I'm sure you probably saw in my green EOTech short video with the magnifier and stuff, I did actually get like a claw mount, so I can actually now mount my phone behind some of the optics, just to give you guys a bit of an idea of what some of these things look like. So next time I'm out somewhere with a bit of range, which should be in about a week's time, I'm going to try and capture some footage for you, and hopefully some of it will be through this. So look forward to that. And anyway, I think this video is probably quite long enough of me just jammering on about the cool ACOG. But either way, guys, you know, take care, and a special thank you and hello to all my new subscribers and all my old subscribers as well. You guys are awesome. You're still commenting, you're still like getting involved, you're still part of the community. So yeah, this is awesome, guys. Yeah, you're making me so happy. Right, take care.